My name is Elliot Province, and I'm the Director of Collections at Discovery Place. Fish are incredibly important to the ocean. Discovery Place has around 100 species of fish in our care. Primarily marine species of fish, so saltwater fish primarily. We have a few freshwater fish, Discovery Place Nature, which has a collection plan that's local and regional for the Piedmont and the Carolinas, that has a few species of freshwater fish. We care for our fish by mimicking what happens in nature, so we have life support systems that kind of treat all of the water in the aquariums here at Discovery Place. And so depending on the type of environment that fish comes from, we have a different type of life support system. And that'll help maintain everything from the proper salt levels to temperature, pH, just all of the water chemistry parameters that a fish needs to survive. So depending on the species of fish, they may be very social or they may be kind of loners. Everybody knows that fish school, and a school of fish is certainly a social aggregation. Fish have what's called a lateral line. So there's a line that on some of our surgeon fish, they actually have this line that you can see that kind of goes back from their eye down towards their tail, and that's a nerve center that basically can tell them what kind of vibrations are happening in the water or any kind of hydrodynamics of the currents around them. So they can feel each other, they certainly see each other. A lot of our fish here are sequential hermaphrodites. So they start out as neither male or female, and then they kind of, as they mature, turn into a male and then sometimes turn into a female, or vice versa, sometimes into a female and then into a male. And that's called protandry or protogyny, depending on what the end gender is. And that's a tactic that kind of, for large social aggregations of fish, keeps them reproducing, no matter what fish are alive. So if the female or the top member of that school passes away, it's succeeded by the next in line, and the reproduction can continue. We get fish from other zoos and aquariums. We also look to sustainable supply chains, like there are some conservation tactics for the pet industry. There are pet suppliers who actually can provide a lot of these fish for your at-home tropical aquarium. We will work with some of those types of vendors, but in general we will try to stick to other zoos and aquariums. Fish are incredibly important to the ocean. They are from the top to the bottom of the food chain, just depending on the species of fish. Larval fish eat plankton and help keep the waters clean of all the plankton that are absorbing all the nutrients in the ocean. Historically, we have gotten involved in coral reef conservation and restoration. We hope to continue to do that as we rebound from the pandemic. We have still continued to work with universities and researchers using some of the corals that we grow here to do different types of research. One of the primary interests of the researchers that have used our corals in their work is to study stress response from corals. And basically, when corals are stressed, we all know that corals can go through a process called bleaching. Usually once a coral bleaches, it is in a very vulnerable state. And to be able to tell a coral is under stress before it bleaches would be very valuable for researchers. It's kind of like being able to diagnose something sick before it becomes critically ill.